everybody, and welcome back to Terrain by Aaron. I'm Aaron, and I like to make things out of everyday junk, and it stops me from my unhealthy obsession of watching Love Island. So, what am I building today? I don't hear you ask. I'm going to try a robot made out of a paint pot. Now, I don't think I've done this before. I've looked through my stuff and I don't think I've ever made a paint pot robot. So that's what I'm doing. So I just grabbed a paint pot with... So to start this build, decided that it needed a head. So this is a lid from a deodorant bottle that I'm just going to glue on. Once that was done, I then found my little tub of bits and pieces. These pieces are from an old water pistol, so I'm just going to use all the pieces from this to make some legs and just stick bits on really until it starts to look like something of a robot. Now, my idea for this robot was basically it's going to be something that somebody's made that in the future, obviously, and it's going to be one that's going to go out and do the collecting, the scavenging, because the person can't go out because, I don't know, it's nuclear winter or it's cold out or it's too sunny out. So he sends this robot out, and this robot is a bit bashed up, a bit scratched up, a bit dented, so that'll be represented later on in the painting. So now I'm just using a peg, which when I finally get it cut down will be its feet. And the idea for this robot is basically it was built by somebody who had limited knowledge of making a robot, so it kind of looks like a clockwork sort of robot-ish sort of thing. You'll see it in the pictures at the end. So I'm not really gonna get stuck on these don't exactly match, because obviously you don't get that sort of stuff when you're in the wastelands of, I don't know, Texas. That's been derogatory to Texas, I think. In the wastelands of the UK. Oh, that's been derogatory to UK. In the wastelands of the Mad Max universe. There we go. That'll do. So these are two halves of the same thing, but one of them doesn't look the same as the other. That's what I'm trying to put across. So just going to use these as the legs. Well, would you look at that? The thing actually stands unaided, so I'm happy with that. So then it was on to the eye, so I just thought, I'll just give him one eye. Again, this was all the bits and pieces from the inside of the water pistol. I think that was the nozzle bit at the front end that I managed to get out. And then I've got some of these funny eyes that sort of shake, even though you're not going to see it as an eye because I'll paint over that later on. But needed something inside that hole, and one of these shaky eyes, I know they're not called shaky eyes, but I'm going to call them shaky eyes, wobbly eyes, whatever, fitted nicely, so that's going to go and get stuck right there. And if anybody's wondering what I'm spraying on that, it's just the activator for the glue. I buy this glue, it comes with the activator, and it just quickens up the process of hardening the super glue. And like all my other builds, I just let the parts find their own space, and all the yellow bits that you see are from this water pistol. Now, I used some armature wire for the arms. I'm not going to get hung up on these arms, so what I'm just going to do is just add some shoulder pads, which are from a tank model kit. Stick them on because they sort of match the clockwork stuff that is in this water pistol, and then just use some plastic sleeving that you light. Well, you don't actually light, but you produce heat, and it shrinks down to the wire. Basically, what I was trying to say in a long way around was this plastic sleeving is what the electricians use to insulate wire, basically. So here we go. This is the plastic sleeving that you just slide onto the wire, and then I'll get a lighter and just gently introduce the flame to the plastic, and it will shrink all the way down and form some sort of like seal on the wire. Again, the arms, not really bothered about them, because if I'm no Tony Stark, I'm pretty sure that not a lot of us are like Tony Stark, but if we were to build a robot, this is kind of like our Mark 1 robot, which, oops, there we go, it's just taking a tumble. This Mark 1 robot would just be sort of like the start of it, and then we'd start chopping and changing and adding things and making the robot more awesome. Here we go, this is the flame to the plastic. Now, I am a trained professional. I'm not really. Just be careful if you're going to do this at home, because we all know that flames can burn and hurt people. And there's no big shakes with the hands either. I'm just going to use them like grabbers, you know, like you get in the grabbing machines that grab the teddy bears, that you're going to plow in, let's say, like 5-10 pounds just to get a £1 toy out of them. I thought I'd use them sort of hands, because obviously if it's grabbing sort of like fruit or wood or stuff like that, it's going to be something basic. So that's why I just used basic hands. And if you notice, it's kind of like Simpsons hands. 3 fingers, 4 fingers, 3 fingers. While there's a little montage of me sticking bits of plastic onto this robot, just want to remind you just to, if you're new to the channel and you've not subscribed, think about subscribing. It's free to subscribe, and if you are a subscriber, then thank you very much for subscribing and sticking with me, and just keep hitting that like button, and make sure you got your notifications on. It should be every Friday that I'll be dropping a video. Around about 4 p.m. That's English time, which is GMT. So yeah, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Thanks very much, I appreciate it. So I gave the guy I'm going to have to make a name for this robot, I'll think of one. I primed him with a white and then went over with a pale blue. Didn't like that, so I went with a sort of like an olive green sort of colour. And then once that was done, I just started going around and painting some of the stuff brass and to weather it up, basically. And then just using my tweezers, I just gave him some scratches like he'd seen some action. And I shall name this robot Tim. Don't ask why, it was the first name that I thought of. Anyway, on to the glamour shots. Thank you very much for sticking around, and until next time, keep scratching that build, everybody.